Pretty Nerdz. 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 Pretty Nerdz.
Welcome back, guys, to the Pretty Nerd Podcast. This is your girl, Falan DeAnn.
And this is your girl, Nay.
So how's everything been going?
Pretty good. I can't complain. I've had a decent week and, just been enjoying the weather. It's been like kind of in the middle. It hasn't been too hot lately. We've been having some colder nights, so that hasn't been too bad. And that's about it. I'm excited because we have a new gym that's getting ready to open here, and it's going to have a sauna, which is what I've wanted for like ever. A gym with a sauna, yay! So I'm excited about that. But other than that, what about yourself?
I'm doing good. Can't complain at all. Yeah, like you, enjoying the weather. I did take a walk today and like at noon, and I was like, it is hot as hell in here. But I'm not gonna complain because I hate cold weather, so I'm enjoying it.
Well, that's good to hear. You want to jump right into these hot topics for the week?
I guess like we started off late. Congratulations to Keisha Kaur and Gucci Mane. It's like their first child together. She looks so cute on her photos.
She did. She looked really cute. Definitely big congratulations to them. They've been together for like seems like forever. So,
Yeah.
And I know they're married and everything like that. So, yeah, she definitely looked really, really cute in her photos. Everybody is popping up pregnant, ain't they? Jeez.
I know.
Folks getting it in during this little quarantine.
Like, ooh, Jesus. I ain't gonna knock them. But yeah, and it's somebody else. I can't think of who else is pregnant, but I just remember them too. I don't think I cared about the other person
anymore.
Me either. I don't know who else it was, but yeah.
I think I've seen like a couple of actresses and stuff like that also. So, but I'm with you. I don't really care.
My God. Yeah.
Can't remember their name.
And I think that's all I had light. Did you have anything else? I think
just the Drake new track that came out, Laugh Now, Cry Later. And the name of his new album is going to be Certified Lover Boy. Interesting. It's a very Drake title. I say that much. Yeah. What did you think of the song?
I haven't listened to it yet. I've been on like another track of his. He was just a feature, but I haven't listened to it yet. But I don't know. Like I am actually anticipating the album though, just from the name. I will say that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
I liked the video, and the song is like a "Grow on Me" song, and I think that's why he released it, because it's not like when I first heard it, I wasn't like in love with it, but it's like now that I'm hearing it more and more and more, it's like growing on me. It's got one of those hooks that get stuck in your head. But aside from that, yeah.
I'll listen to it and look at the video.
The video was dope though. Really good video.
I don't know if we ever discussed this. It's kind of off topic, but his house is amazing. I'm like, how do you sit in there? It's like a museum, but yeah. That's so off topic.
It is very beautiful. It definitely needs a woman's touch in there. Yes. But
come in with your splashes of pink.
Right? That's all it's missing is a little me. That's all.
I saw like a post. I think it was on Shade Room where they showed like celebrities come up, and I was like, Drake was one of them, and it was like a picture from his Degrassi days, and every time I see it, I like slightly cringe. I'm like, ugh.
But I loved him then. Oh, he was so cute then. Oh. I missed those days back when y'all didn't think he was cute. Less competition. But I ain't gonna lie, I told you, I'm team curls. I miss his curly hair days. Those were the good days. I don't mind the waves, but I used to love his little curls back when what was it, like the 2010 era, when he was just like, was it Nothing Was the Same? pop that, that little hair. That was a nice hair. I like the little curly little hair that he had going on right there. Before he had the little beard, it was just like a little shadow and all. Yeah, I like that. He looked a little like not as put together.
No. I like the refined gentleman look for him.
I like all his looks.
It's
But that curly hair was my favorite. It was.
We gotta get y'all like, because I feel like it's gonna be some regular chick that's gonna get him there.
Listen, listen, we're gonna go ahead and manifest that. It's gonna be me. We're gonna bring it to me. Manifest. Yes. Anywho, let's stay in the music lane really quickly. I saw that WAP went #1 highest streams, I guess, ever. I don't know. I didn't really read the whole article. I just saw that it went #1. I wasn't too surprised. I feel like it should have went #1 as much as everybody's been talking about it and all of that. But apparently people were surprised. I don't know. But
I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't surprised. I'm like, first of all, just from the video, the publicity of it all, like I definitely wasn't surprised, and I'm so like, I'm proud of them because like it was rough for them last week. I don't give a damn. Like Cardi is not my fave, but Jesus, it was rough. I mean, yeah. Like I even seen like somebody like correlating like, I mean, just so much bullshit. So I'm like, you know what? Enjoy y'all #1. I saw like they released another like picture that was like really like a nice picture of both of them. I'm like, so I'm not mad. I'm like, go Meg. She got a good bounce back. So yeah.
Do you see all the people trying to drag her over? Because I guess when she was in the Khaled photo, she didn't look like she had anything wrapping her foot, and then when she went out to the strip club, she put on the wrap around her foot or whatever and was walking around. It looked like barefoot in the strip club. And I just was like, why are people so concerned in whether she got on bandages or not? Like, I just don't understand why people would think that she would make up a story of being shot. Like
And it really just makes me think it's like, it's not even about her making it up. It's just they don't want Tory to be the culprit because we know like bro still ain't said not one word.
Yeah.
His team has not said a word. So it's like,
if it wasn't true, why wouldn't he just come out and straight up
deny
it?
Be like, I didn't do it. So yeah, like over it. And I even saw like a post was like, no one can tell me different. Meg is a man. And I'm like, what the fuck are y'all talking? Like, what? I'm like, would y'all stop with this narrative that a woman that's tall or athletic built has to be a man?
Not only that, they really just hate women,
right?
Black
Really,
women with black features. Let's just be honest. They hate Black women with black features. When it comes to like if we have a full nose, full lips, you know what I mean?
If
you don't have that racially ambiguous look with the little 3C curly hair, then you a man or you not feminine enough. You know what I mean? Like they only like one type of Black woman.
And that's why I was like, how is she? I'm like, her body is perfect. Like I feel that way about Serena Williams. I'm like, why are y'all even? I don't know. It's just weird. I'm like that. Y'all would even compare these women like to men, and especially if they don't identify as men. Like it'd be different if they identify as men, but they don't. And I don't know. It's just like it. I don't know. That shit just really fucking irks me because I'm like, it seems like after like it died down with Serena, then here y'all come with Meg, and then it's like, why are you saying this? Because it's just because she's tall. Because you have no other reason. I'm like, she's not. Her body is banging. And some person was like, unless I see a baby picture, then somebody posted a baby picture and she just went crooked. And then it's women that's perpetuating this. And I'm like, y'all are so fucking weird, bro.
It's always women. It is all I've seen that it's always other women coming for other women. It's ridiculous. I saw, and Masika is not my favorite person either, but she was absolutely right. I saw somebody who's like commenting her talking about why all of a sudden you got them long Ari nails and blah 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 blah, and she was like, sis, they're nails. I've been wearing. I'm older than her. Been wearing nails forever. Like we all of us, it's an aesthetic that all black women been wearing forever. Like don't nobody own no damn nails. Like y'all gotta chill with that mess. We're always
like,
trying to compare women.
Pictures of my aunties from like the 80s, 90s with super duper long nails.
Facts.
So,
we all wanted to run around like Coco and Flo Jo.
I'm like, it's weird. Like I saw that too, and I was like, we doing this about nails? What's
child a mess?
Okay. And then I'm like, out of all people to credit to Ari, like nobody else. Ari.
Yeah. It is weird.
They just popped up on the scene a few years ago. You're like, yeah, y'all fans are really weird because I'm like, it's like, and I know we was younger, we was like, oh, we heard certain songs or certain trends. We thought they're like, oh, it's new. But I don't remember being this stupid though. Be like, oh, you get that from blah, 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 blah. Be like, no, boo-boo. This has been around.
Facts. I don't know. I just saw it and I was like, man, she right. Y'all are some weirdos. And it's always the other women who find some way to cause a ridiculous little fight or war between the little stands, or just to drag another woman over something stupid as nails or clothes or this or that and the other. Like the whole fighting with the hairstyle. I mean, just the dumbest shit that I've been seeing is crazy.
Definitely.
So I guess we can. That's pretty much the lightest news that we have.
Yeah.
We can jump into some of the mess. I saw that Monica, she going hard for her ex boo thing. I really feel like that's her boo thing for real.
Listen.
Corey Miller, aka C Murder. Listen, he's been in jail as long as I can remember. So I don't even remember when C Murder was out of jail, if y'all want me to be completely honest with you. Like I actually, when I saw it, I tried to sit down and think back if I even remember when C Murder wasn't in jail. And to be honest with you, I don't even remember. You know what I'm saying? Like, can you think that, like, because we're not like old enough, but we're kind of like to remember. But I really don't even remember, like, when No Limit first came out. I don't even remember C Murder not being in jail.
That's what I was just gonna say. I'm trying to think, like, like,
right?
Yeah.
Like I can't think about it. But either way it goes, she has joined she's pretty much been about C Murder for forever and ever and ever, but she's really going hard now for joining the Free Corey Miller campaign. She wrote a really long Instagram post saying that she had a conversation with Lala, and they brought in Kim Kardashian, and now Kim has joined kind of the case or whatever, and she's been posting about it and all of that jazz. I don't know. I mean, listen, I don't really, again, because I don't remember when C Murder wasn't in jail. I don't really remember the case. I've seen different things kind of floating around, people saying that there has been like people who came back and recanted their statements, just all kind of like different DNA evidence. But there's also people who said that honestly, from the beginning, the reason that he's in jail is because he wouldn't snitch, basically. The cops and all them said they knew he didn't do it, but he wouldn't tell who did it, so that's why he's serving the sentence. But I don't remember, so I don't want to like tell lies. But needless to say, what are your thoughts on the whole situation?
I mean, I guess I was the best for him, but I mean, like you said, I don't remember. Um, I I don't know. I don't know. I kind of find it a little. I don't know. It's not the correct. I don't think cheesy is the correct word, but I just don't like that they had to call Kim Kardashian to do that. It's like you are a celebrity. Why you just can't use your own pool?
Right.
I don't know. That's the only thing that I don't really like. But
I have a question for you. It's going to be a little controversial, but do you feel like people have kind of, with the whole Kim Kardashian thing, that they've kind of adapted this white savior complex? Because it seems like anytime like we see all these little cases or whatever like that, there's always all these black folks call up Kim Kardashian, call Kim Kardashian. You know she got the pool. You know Kim can do it. Kim can do it. Blah 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 blah. And I'm just like, but what about the countless black people who, I don't know. Like I just feel like all of a sudden it's just like this. Oh, Kim comes in to save the day, and it's almost like people have developed this white savior complex. Like, we need Kim in order to get it done.
yeah, and I do think that, and the reason why I say that is because we forget like her first like couple of cases where she got like the record expunged or whatever or got them apart. These cases were already worked on by black women. So she just didn't come on the scene and was like, oh, let me look up Dorothy Johnson. Let me look up this person randomly and pick this person to work their case and get them out of prison. This was already like groundwork that had already been laid, and she just came in and basically, for me, stuck her bow on it, or put the name behind it. So I definitely think we have it because when you look at the blog, oh, Kim Kardashian should be able to do Kim Kardashian. And I'm like, people have been doing this work for centuries and not taking that she doesn't do some of the work. But I'm like, a lot of this shit, I'm like, just being honest, people do it for her. She come in and be like, okay, I put my name behind it.
Yeah. Use her celebrity.
Right. I was like, there's nothing wrong with that. And that's one of the things you do use celebrity for, I think, a good cause. But I don't like this just running around like, oh, she's doing everything about, yeah, no. And I don't know, it's just, I feel like it's cheesy because I'm like, at first she was coming out with this whole reality TV show. I know she's still doing it. About the journey to get people out and all this, and I'm like, it's money. So I'm like, I don't know. Maybe because I don't like the whole family, it just don't work for me.
Yeah. I definitely, like I said, my only issue with it, I feel like I like the fact that she's using her celebrity for good, for something, for a cause.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's one of those things that sits in the back of my mind. Like, I don't like to see our people kind of develop, like I said, a white savior complex. Like, we don't need white folks to save us. You know what I mean? Like, that shouldn't be y'all go to. Not when we have all these countless black people with boots on the ground. So, but needless to say, I mean, I definitely won't knock the work that she's doing. I think that is an awesome way to use the power and the privilege that you have. You know what I mean? And we all know that she has tons of privilege. Um, as a white facing, huge, big time mega celebrity, she has tons of privilege that she can use. So I ain't mad at her for using it, towards our causes.
Yeah, I don't. That's the only thing I give her. Yeah.
Yeah. Sticking in that direction, some really good news, I would say, for the family of Jam Master Jay. He was killed in 2002. It was announced today that 2 arrests have been made finally for his murder. So hopefully his family can get some type of closure in that regards.
Yeah. It was like I read the article about like what happened and all of that. I was like, yeah, it was interesting, and I'm like, bro, y'all about to go to jail for like ever about drugs that you probably still didn't get, but
yeah. So, but needless to say, like I said, hopefully his family gets some closure, because we know that a lot of families aren't allotted that, especially after such a big amount of time. Like I said, he was murdered in 2002. You know what I mean? So that is a huge, huge amount of time. So, like I said, hopefully they'll get some justice for that, some closure in that case. Let me see. One other quick hitter. The NBA playoffs kicked off today from the bubble. So for those out there who are sports fans, you know, that whole thing is going on. And what else we got?
I guess in the sports arena, the guy, is it Kamai? Foolish lost his whole NFL contract to sneak a woman back to his room trying to disguise her as a player, which I'm like, sir, really? But when I saw the chick, I was like, so you lost your whole little career for, okay, you know what? Okay. When I say average, plain white tee average. Like, you could at least want to get a baddie, though.
Girl, listen, to be honest with you, I think it's weird that they are policing them grown men that heavy to where that they can't bring, people. Like, I think that a lot of people are saying that even with the NBA bubble, they should be allowed to have, at least a conjugal visit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to call it a conjugal because they're not in prison, but at least have like a visit with, their loved ones or whatever like that. There's enough like where you can do the testing, so that they can have some moments with their family, because that's a long little isolation to be with your family, away from your family, just for, basketball or football. But at the same time, it's like with old dudes, like, you knew the rules. Like, you would have been better off pulling a Lou Will and just
right, go get you some hot wings.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would have been better off pulling a Lou Will at that point. Just say you was out, to get you some wings. That's all. Like, come on, man. The lost your whole contract.
For some foolishness. And that's how I was like, bro, what I say, like his sign-on bonus, I was like, yeah, I see why they cut him, because people was like, well, people don't work, and I'm like, but he's not really needed for the team to survive. So it's like, you already are not needed. Be honest, I'm like, he probably like third, fourth string. So yeah, don't do that to yourself.
Basically, why throw away your coins for that?
Right. And I don't know, like, I didn't feel bad because I'm like I agree with you, it's like, what's the balance? And it's like, well, do you ask like, hey, we're gonna schedule a visit, y'all be in quarantine for like 2 weeks, and then you come be, I don't know what would be the balance with it though, to make sure that they are not exposing other people, especially if they don't have any symptoms. I don't know. So
yeah. They definitely, if they have to continue on, because obviously, the NBA is doing the bubble right now. They'll probably take a break before they kick off the new season or whatever like that, obviously. But I mean, depending on if this is gonna be, how this is gonna be, you know what I mean? Like, if this is gonna be a permanent kind of way of having these type of events, obviously we're probably never going to get to go back to normal. I hate to say it, but to what we used to see as normal anyway. But needless to say, I feel like they got to figure out a better way, because there's no way that you can just ask these players and all of that to, for whole seasons to be away from their people. You know what I mean?
Like my kids and like stuff that happened at home. So yeah.
So they gotta figure out a better. I know that right now they're just making do, but they gotta figure out a better system.
Definitely. And I wonder, like, I mean, I know now, but it's like just thinking, like, why can't, like, well, can my family come to the bubble with me eventually? Like, I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah. They need to figure out something. But needless to say, I guess people ain't really taking it out. I mean, to be honest with you, I think they're just being extra cautious just because of the fact that so many people aren't being cautious enough. I mean, no shade, like we were just talking about Meg out at the strip club last night. No mask on, whole strip club with no mask on. Like, I'm just like, and y'all in Florida? Shit.
No, ma'am. Be like, listen, I gotta have on some gloves. Give me my mask. I want hand sanitizer. Lysol spray in my purse.
Look, I'm not gonna play with y'all.
No. Especially not in Florida.
Y'all out here taking too many risks, man.
And then people just pass this stuff down.
Basically, because my thing is that people are like, well, if I get it, I get it. But you can't go off of somebody else and what they went through, because somebody else may have got it and only had mild symptoms, but you don't know how the fuck your body gonna react to it. You be the one fuck up and die. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand people's thought process.
And I don't understand when people like, it's like the flu, and I'm like, have you ever had the fucking flu before? Because I'm like, when I had the flu, like, it was like 8 o'clock. I woke up, I'm fine, but by 4, I was like, yeah, I'm dying. Like, because I had never had the flu before, so I was convinced that my mama needs to plan my funeral.
Girl, listen,
I'm with you.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I don't think people understand that the flu ain't no shit either, because, like, when that shit hit you, you'd be like, damn.
Like a Mack truck, and then I'm like, the long-term effects that it has, because I'm like, I develop a cough at certain parts of the year that it's not my sinuses, it's not allergy. I'm just coughing, and I'm like, oh, I really just want to stop coughing right now.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I didn't have it before I had the flu, so I'm like, just imagining what we're gonna know in 10, 15 years about the long-lasting or the long-term effects of the coronavirus or how it affects. And I'm like, they're already telling you that it's going to impact your lungs, your breathing. And it's like, why would you put yourself at risk for that, just to be like, oh, yeah, I'm fine. And then when you older, you know what I'm saying, like, you dealing with stuff that you don't necessarily have to deal with.
Right.
I'm like, and then I saw this video today. They called it a pack of Karens. It was like this store in, I think, either Arizona or California, and they were like, we have to wear a mask, and this is an act of war. Like, war? What the fuck is wrong with you? That you have to wear a mask in a grocery store? And, like, even I was talking to people yesterday, went to lunch, and they were like, well, the mask don't do anything. I'm like, it's not so much to keep you from catching it so much. It's that if you have it, you don't give it to anybody else. Unlike when I had the flu, I had already had the flu. But when I went out, I put on a mask. When I got to the hospital, they knew I had the flu. They gave me a mask. That's to keep me from not giving it to everybody else.
Right.
I already had it.
Right.
And I'm like, this is common practice in, like, places overseas. I'm like, you have people in China that they automatically listen, I have a cold. So to keep from spreading it, knowing that I'm in close quarters with millions of other people, I'm just going to wear it. And it's not a big deal. I'm like, y'all are not going to die with fucking masks on. It has been proven over and over again. You're not getting sick. You're not dying. You're just being a fool.
Yeah. Craziness. Absolute craziness. On the staying on that topic before we jump off real quick. Have you seen that they saying, like, they're gonna start with the whole vaccine or whatever? And
I saw, like, the fines or they were supposed to be like, if you don't take it, they'll fine you. I don't know how true that is though, so I don't want to.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. That's my thing. I don't know what their direction is going to be. Like, are they gonna? I've been reading that they are saying that it's gonna get to the space where they may, like, it may be a requirement for, in order for like you to go back to work and things of that nature, for you to take it. I don't know, man. Like, I'm a little skeptical. I feel like I need to let everybody else try it out first.
Right.
Like, I can't. Like, I can't.
In 5 years.
I can't be first in line for that. Like, I don't even really trust the flu shot. Like,
I
you
don't
know what I'm saying? So
get the flu, and the only reason why I don't get the flu is because, like, when I did have it, the doctor was like, "I'm just gonna be honest with you." She was like, "You know, I'm not gonna knock you for not getting a flu shot." She was like, "But you have a different strain than what was covered this year, so you probably still, whoever you came in contact with, you still would have gotten the flu." So that's the only reason why I don't take it. And then I also feel comfortable, like, oh, well, we have, doctors know a lot about the flu. And they know, okay, you can take care of flu if you just want to sit at home and, pace yourself out. You can also take Tamiflu. And we don't have that for the coronavirus. That's the only thing. But I'm like, I don't want to be in the first people that go. Like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't want to be
later.
in that first batch. I don't trust
like,
that.
Because if people start barking like dogs or whatever, I don't want to be in that batch. Give me a couple of years down the line, because I'm like, I do think by it being so new that I do think most of us probably gonna end up taking it because it is new. So you do build up that immunity or whatever. Like I said, I'm not against vaccinations or anything like that. I do think they have their place. I just, with any vaccination, I just don't want to be the first.
Yeah.
Which I don't really think. I think for like a lot of us that are like relatively healthy and maybe younger, I don't even think we probably would have first dibs. Because I think like when the flu shots was kind of short one year, we didn't have first dibs. It was like, let's get the children and the elderly people first.
Right.
And then, if we have more, then we can go from there. So I was like, I don't necessarily think we'll be first dibs. And I'm not knocking it. And I hate the conversation with people like, they're going to put a chip in blah, blah. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, we're walking around here with cell phones, iPad, cars hooked up to our cell phones. And you think they need a chip in a vaccine? You know what? Child, your child even has a tablet. What do they need a chip for?
They gotta have the conspiracy theories for everything.
I'm like, you can call OnStar and tell them unlock your car. You in the accident. They already telling you before you even call them. So you at this blah 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 place. What they need a chip for? Right. You ain't going nowhere. I'm like, even if you live off the grid, I'm like, you know how much it'll take for you. I'm like, living off the grid takes a lot of fucking work and a lot of time. Most of y'all already got houses, cars, all this stuff in your name. How you gonna live off the grid?
Yeah.
And you gonna go to work every day.
Sometimes you just gotta take people with a grain of salt.
Listen, you can't even tend the land. Don't even know how to plant an onion. Talking about you going off the grid. Bye.
Anyway, other topics we got, NBA YoungBoy and Yaya. I guess they got some more drama going on.
Yeah, and I think he is. I know, like a couple of weeks ago, he posted, I'm guessing, his new girlfriend. Now, Money Yaya posted, you love who you love, or all this bullshit. And I'm like, Lord Jesus. Like, I feel bad for her. And then I'm like, what the fuck was Floyd doing? I'm like, but I guess it's like, people say the sins of your fathers or whatever. Because, Jesus. Yeah. I'm like, out of all people to run behind, not him, sweetie.
And she is running behind that man. Woo!
You almost about to do some time for him, sweetheart. Don't just listen. I'm one of the people like, yep, make your own mistakes, do you? But listen, sweetheart, this one, listen to somebody that's older that's telling you this ain't gonna work.
This ain't it. This is not the path.
Right. Because Chief, you gonna he first of all, he got too many kids, he got too much drama, too many women. He done put you in too much trouble. Just let it go. Fight your court case and move on.
Facts.
So,
Also, I guess in that realm, Summer Walker, she said something about how to feed kids and whatnot.
Lord Jesus. So she was like, we gotta stop giving babies this processed food and mix them up some vegetables and fruit, which I agree with that. The babies part is what threw me out because I'm like, so babies need more than just fruit, vegetables, and water. What a protein it, man. Because if you're gonna give this like specific diet regimen, you gotta come on with it.
You gotta give
and
it
I'm like,
full.
Right. And I'm like, you also have to keep in mind, I'm like, bro, babies' tummies are different than your grown ass stomach. So all the stuff that you breaking down for protein and all that stuff, it don't work that way. And I'm like, and then she gave this breakdown of how much it costs to eat healthy versus formula. And I'm like, first of all, where you buy your fruit?
Facts.
Because she was like, a pear is 39 cents. I'm like,
where
you get a pear from 39 cents? Because I'm like, ma'am, no. I wanted some cherries, and them joints was $4.99 a pound. I'm like,
hold on. I'm gonna beat you on that one. I wanted to buy a dragon fruit. One dragon fruit was $5.99.
Ooh, Jesus.
One, y'all. I said, oh, y'all can keep this. Y'all playing.
Right. So like, well, first of all, where you getting these prices from? And I was like, and then I think it comes from an elitist standpoint to say that people have access to all of this fruit. I'm like, a lot of people live in food deserts where they don't have a grocery store. They have to make do with what they have. And I'm like, and then you also got to think about it that if you are living in poverty and you get this, or even if you're having a hard time right now because we are in a whole pandemic, and you like, oh, well, I'm gonna get this fruit, and your baby don't like it. So what the fuck am I supposed to do out about, this fruit, and then now I'm stuck with it, and it might not be your jam either. So I'm like, we just have to think about stuff, and I was like, just be quiet. Go back to being like shy and anxious. Just don't do this.
Not only that, but there's a whole, like, if people are interested in that, there's literally like all kind of like recipes where people can make their own like little baby foods and different things that they can try out, using natural products and all that stuff. I mean, there's so many different alternatives, but like you said, not everybody has that option. So I'm with you. Like, it's so elitist of people to like get on the internet and like preach to people, you need to do this and you need to. No, listen, y'all gotta quit trying to tell people what they need. People need to do what's best for them and their families to support, period.
Right. And I was like, and even when you get, because people like, well, I'm like, you're not supposed to start introducing like solids until they're 6 months. So I'm like, from 0 to 6, what are you doing? And I'm like, and they're still supposed to have breast milk or formula between then. So I'm like, it's just, just don't do it. And like I said, I just didn't like her recipe where she was like fruits and vegetables. And I'm like, but what about protein? Because I'm like, that's part of formula as well as breast milk. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like I said, just her breakdown of where she got her fruit. Because I'm like, you can't even get a 39-cent purse.
Girl, listen,
that's like the place I find fruit.
Listen. And not only that, but you got to remember that, like, even in certain places, like, I have to pick and choose to even, if I, on days that I even want to buy fruit from Kroger's, because I don't even like sometimes how they fruit be looking.
Listen, Kroger fruit, I'm like, I'm going to put this bag, this don't look right, or all of them, especially, and I noticed with Kroger, if it's on sale, them just done. Like, they bruised. It's it's like, did y'all drive over them or what happened before they made it to the store? I'm like, even I went, I think it was Saturday, and like all the black plums looked horrible.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, they were on sale, but they looked horrible and they felt like mush. I'm like, no, I'm not finna buy these. So I'm like, I just think it's, yeah, just don't do that. Because I'm like, yeah, you have access to go to Whole Foods and it doesn't matter to you. You just swipe your card, blah, blah. People don't have access to that. I'm like, even the area I stay in, I think Whole Foods is all the way on the other side of town.
Right. And we don't even have a Whole Foods here.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not driving all the way over there. I'm like, I, get my fruits and vegetables out or whatever. But yeah, I was like, I just don't do that. And especially when you're talking to people, be like, well, have you thought about that their grocery store is 20 miles from their house?
Right.
Are you going to take them?
That's what I'm saying. Just let people do the best they can do. Because in all honesty, if you can go out and get whatever you can get for your family to provide, and you're doing your best, and I ain't mad at you,
Right. Like, I'm just quiet.
And let's jump into our final topic, hot topic for this week. Don't want to spend too much time on it because I feel like this is not a political show, so we're not gonna spend too much time on it. But Joe Biden finally named his running mate. Running for vice president is Kamala Harris. So yeah, Biden and Harris is the ticket. And yeah, I don't really have too much to say on it. Y'all know, like, listen, if I'm anything, I'm honest. I already wasn't a huge fan of Joe Biden. His choice for BP, Kamala, wasn't my favorite choice either. I gotta sit. I'm just being completely honest. When I saw it, I was like, I gotta sit with this for a minute. Like, as much as I don't want Trump to win, I gotta sit with it for a minute. I'm just being honest. You know what I mean? I know people are just like, well, you just gotta vote for it and blah 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 blah, and y'all shouldn't tear down. And ain't nobody tearing sis down. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not tearing her down, but I'm not gonna sit. I'm also not a sheep, and I can't pretend like her record wasn't what it was. You know what I mean? Like, I can't make that go away.
And I'm like, basically, the people that support them that I've seen is like, you're basically coming Donald Trump fan base. It's like, we can't criticize them. Like, you can criticize them and be like, listen, their record is fucked up. The things they've said, the things they've done is totally fucked up. And still, be like, well, fuck it, we got to vote in November, regardless if that's your thing. I just, yeah, when it came down, I was like, oh. Like, he was already a shitty candidate. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I said I gotta sit with it. I have to sit with it. Like, I have to really sit with it and decide for myself, like, okay, can you deal with another 4 years of Trump if he wins? If you sit out and don't vote, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have to actually sit with it. Like, this is the first time, I will say, this is the first time where I'm really like contemplating, like, okay, can I deal with another 4 years if I don't go out and vote? You know what I mean? Like, I'm sorry, that's how bad this ticket is for me. I'm just being honest.
And for me, I think it comes down to as well, I didn't like the whole, like, I guess, propaganda behind it where it's, oh, you need a black woman to be a VP to save you. Like, stop making black women responsible for saving elections or the world, your state, your city. It's like, no. I guess that was one of my things, but even when this one itchy.
Yeah, basically.
And I'm like, I think, I was like, I mean, I give them the win, just for the simple fact of what's going on. I don't know how it's going to go in November, though. I think it's going to be a fucking shit show. A long time until January 2021. So
yeah, exactly. So We still have a long time, so
Yeah.
we shall see how this whole thing play out. Like I said, I gotta sit with it. I will make my decision one way or the other, and then let the chips fall where they may. You know.
I know damn well I ain't vote for Kanye. That's one thing. I know that's
Facts.
that's one thing. I guarantee you, I'm not voting for Kanye and I'm not voting for Trump. Well, actually, two things. That's two.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
anything, yeah.
It basically is just coming down. Either I ain't voting or I'ma suck it up. So it's one.
Be like how I was with Hillary, like girl, I guess.
Right,
listen.
Listen, went to the whole poll like, fuck, I guess I gotta go green button for this. Whole time was in there looking there like, God, I can't stand her ass, but damn it.
You just standing there bitter as hell, be like, this is bullshit. This it? I ain't got nobody else on the ballot. This it. Okay, cool. And then of course you gotta think about it as well. Be like, oh, if I could just skip over voting for some people, it's like, but you can't because you gotta vote for your local election. So it's like, you know what? This is bullshit. Separate them.
Oh, big fix. Oh, and FYI, before we jump out of politics, I've been seeing a lot of people talking about they hope the AOC, I don't know what her name is, something, was it Ortiz or whatever? Basically, everybody call it AOC. They talking about they hope she run for president 35 when she turned 35, and I'm just like, really? That's who y'all want?
She's just don't, you know.
That's who y'all want? Okay. What's her? I want to know. In all honesty, at this point, I really want to know what people's agendas are in terms of the Black community. Y'all got to come with a Black agenda, and the top priority needs to be reparations. Like, somebody gonna have to come up with these reparations at this point. Because I'm sorry, Jewish folks got reparations, and the Holocaust didn't even happen in the United States. You know what I mean? Native Americans have received some form of reparations. The Chinese and Japanese, I believe, from when they were in camps, they've received reparations. At this point, Black folks is the only ones who ain't received reparations. Somebody gonna have to come out with the agenda, and y'all gonna have to give, you know what I mean? Like, reparations needs to be at the top at this point. Like, I'm sick of the bullshit. I don't want to hear from people saying, how they gonna do blah blah. That's why they're in office. That's what the fuck they supposed to be figuring out. How they gonna figure out how they gonna give Black folks reparations. They need to figure it out.
Definitely. I mean, they can go ahead and just bring in all other people that was responsible for the Atlantic slave trade as well. Be like, y'all all pull together, put your money together, and pay what you owe. You know? So,
thank you. Pay what the fuck you owe. Because at this point, Black folks have earned it. We deserve it. Pay what the fuck you owe.
And I get so tired of hearing people, well, I ain't had nothing to do with it. Well, you still live off the same privilege of it. So shut the fuck up. Run me my cash.
Facts. Okay. That is pretty much all I have on the list for hot topics. Anything else? Did we miss anything?
Nothing else for me.
All right, so let's go ahead and move into the relationship portion of the show. What's your relationship question this week?
So I saw on social media where they had a whole thread on Twitter about men give women relationship advice. So now on the flip side, what is, I guess, one of the biggest pieces of relationship advice you would give?
Okay, let me think. I'm going to think on it. But before we jump to that, I want to ask you a quick question. Because I saw the same thread. And I want to know, because I've seen this a lot. One of the advice that the men gave was that the man needs to like you more than you like him or whatever like that. Do you agree? I've seen a lot of people say that. Do you agree with that?
I've seen it a lot as well, and I don't agree. And the reason why I don't agree is that I feel like it always comes from a place of saying that men are incapable or not fully capable of fully loving you unless it's more than how you love them. And I was like, I don't necessarily think that that's true. I think they love different, but it's not where they have to love you more. And I was like, I want my partner to love me as much as I love him.
Right.
I don't know. I always found that weird. I'm like, why the fuck? And then, like I said, everybody's explanation is, oh, well, if they love you more, they'll do blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I'm expecting it regardless. Why does he have to love me more for him, do what he's supposed to do as a husband and a father? Like, I don't get it.
I didn't get it either, and I just wanted to make sure, like, in my head, I was like, am I the only person who doesn't understand the sentiment? Like, I don't get the concept of you know what I'm saying, he should love you more than you love him. I feel like y'all should be equally yoked. You know what I mean? That's the ideal of a partnership, is for y'all to be equal in that. But
and I think it always comes down to, like, my grandmother said, and I'm like, I think that comes down to what they knew back then, where you did see a lot of men have a family, on the other side of town or down the road or something like that. That it's like, well, if he loves me more, then he wouldn't, cheat, or he'll be here. He does what he's supposed to do, and be like, but that should be part of the discussion regardless. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
He shouldn't have to love you more to not be a shitty spouse. So, yeah.
And I don't necessarily agree with that either, because I think we've seen where dudes love women to death, but they still cheat.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I don't feel like that saves that. You know what I mean?
And that's the only thing I can think of, because I'm like, it all comes down to, like, it's just like men are inept of being 100, like, if they're not 150% invested while you're just 90%, then like it's not going to work, or he's going to do this, or he's not going to value and cherish you. And I'm like, I don't necessarily agree with it. And I'm like, most of the time, like, I'm just being, most of the dudes that have loved me more than I love them, it has been a fucking toxic ass relationship.
Yeah. I agree. I guess maybe I'm just a person who's all about balance, and I feel like you would just have to. I have to have that balance in my life, because, like, if I feel like I am too much in control, I'm running over somebody. I'm just gonna be honest with you.
Right.
Like, I will run over a person if you give me too much.
Listen.
So I just can't see how that could work.
That is me. Like Jill Scott said on the Breakfast Club, if you can tell me what to do, you can tell me what to do. And you know what I mean. And I felt what she mean.
Big face.
Listen.
Okay, so my relationship advice to dude, now this is gonna sound super cliche and super, like, just simple and easy, but in all honesty, like I said, I'm just a person who believes in, like, balance and good energy and all that stuff like that. And my advice is always just to be upfront and honest. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it saves so much time, heartache, bullshit. You know what I mean? Just be upfront and honest. If you don't want a relationship, say that. If you know what I'm saying? If you want, multiple different, this, that, and the other within your relationship, say that. Let a woman make the decision whether she want to deal with you or not. Like, don't give her false, like, pretenses and thinking that she's getting one thing when she really getting bullshit. You know what I mean? Like, it saves everybody so much time and energy. Like, time is so precious. Why do we sit out here and play all these games, wasting it? Just be upfront and honest. Say that this is what you want, and if I want to roll with you, then I want to roll. If I don't, then we not meant to be. Let's go our separate ways. It was nice to meet you, and I'm good, love, and joy. What about yourself?
My biggest advice is, if you are wanting to pursue a woman, plan. The worst thing is such a big turnoff is like, oh, well, what you want to do? What? Bro, you asked me out. Why are you asking me what I want to do? Especially if we've had conversations. Plan some shit like, hey, are you free Saturday at 7? We should go out. And this is what we are going to do. Like, if you free Saturday, then okay, well, this is what I have planned. How hard is that?
I agree. That's part of romance, I think, too. Like, the romance factor of it all.
And I was like, it's just, they used to be the biggest turnoff. Like, well, what you want to do? What? So why you asking me what I like to do then? Right? Me waste my breath and my unlimited text messages. Why you ask?
Facts. Just come out with it. Be straightforward. Tell me what's up.
Right. You're like, I just told you what I like to do, what I don't like to do, and plan something there and call it a day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Super easy. Super easy. I feel like we're super easy, man. We're not complicated. Just tell us like it is. Be honest.
It's complicated when you get complicated.
Big facts. All right. So my question for this week is, what scares you the most in a relationship?
I think losing trust. Because I think just like after that, it's just downward from there. And I feel like from everything else, it's like, okay, I can kind of manage, but that trust issue is like, no, like, yeah, that scares me like a lot. Like, how do people even rebound from that?
From the trust issues.
Yeah.
For me, I would say what scares me the most is honestly is like putting in a super amount of time, energy, and just so much into a relationship and then get nothing in return. You know what I mean? Like get nothing back in return. And it just like ending on some like crazy bullshit. That's like the scariest thing to me because I feel like I said, I'm such a person who feels like time isn't promised. We only have so much time that we're allotted on this planet. The majority of it we spend in working on ourselves, building ourselves up as people as we should be doing, and the rest of it we should be spending on, building up these relationships, bringing this positive energy, love, and light into our lives. And so, like, for me to have to go out and waste it, in essence, like putting all of that into something, into this relationship, and then to be nothing, like that's just the scariest thing to me.
That I can agree with that too. Like I need a return on my investment of time.
I sit and like I see some of the women who like said that they've spent 5, 10, 15, just sitting with it. I just be like, how? You know what I mean? Like when I see like T.I. and Tiny, or even Lala and Carmela, where she spent like Kimbella and Jules 7, 10, 11, you know what I'm saying? All them years. How? You know what I mean? Like I'm like, how do y'all do it?
Especially when you're older, like you be like, so y'all didn't start dating when you was like, 16. This was like y'all were 26, 27. No, can't.
Girl.
Like even 21, I couldn't sit and be like, I got 10 years to spend with you and waste time. No.
I don't have the patience.
Be like, what we doing here? And if it's not, then I gotta go.
Yeah. Not at all. Whew. That's all I got for relationships this week. You got anything else?
Nope, that's all for me.
All right. Any new books, music, TV, any recommendations, anything you want to put out there in the universe?
Nothing new, I don't think. I just still been watching Selling Sunset, which is weird. That's it. I think I'm gonna go back and watch The Housewives of Atlanta. That's the only franchise that I watch. So I've missed like the last few seasons. So I said I was gonna pick that back up. And then there are a couple of things that's coming on Netflix. I think that we discussed like one-on-one that I'm gonna wait until I'm on maternity leave, and then I'm just gonna binge watch while I have a boring baby. And yeah.
Okay. I guess on my end, I will say that I saw that The Game is now on Netflix, so I'm probably gonna start watching that because I enjoyed the first seasons of The Game before they moved to BET. So
BET made ghetto.
So I'm gonna check that out. I still can't wait for Girlfriends to come. I love some Girlfriends.
Ooh, listen.
But I think they're like the ones that's like the furthest to the end of the month too, which sucks. But needless to say, I can't wait for Girlfriends to come. But yeah, I'm gonna pick up. I've tried to. I think I got to season 4 of Moesha. And you know, after that's when it starts to go downhill, like when Dorian comes and all that. I really don't think I'm gonna be able to finish it because I could not stand the last couple of seasons of Moesha at all. So
And I don't even remember. It's like, yes, I wonder if I stopped watching it then. Like I remember Dorian, but then
yeah, I feel like after they graduated high school, it just went downhill.
yeah.
So
See, I definitely had to stop watching it because I don't remember too much after they left high school.
so
I
there
think
you go.
on the Parkers then. Yeah.
So that's where I'm at, and I think I'm gonna just go ahead and click the little button. Be like, I'm done with Moesha. I can't even like make it through them episodes at all. I'm just like, nah, I don't want to watch that. Boop, boop, boop. Nope. But yeah, and like I said, one of the things that I never liked about Moesha is I never liked that they put her and Hakeem together. Because I loved the fact that here you had this platonic best friend relationship, you know what I mean? And it was such a good, dope relationship. Like Hakeem genuinely loved her as his best friend and vice versa. And I don't understand why they had to make it a sexual thing. You know what I mean? Like why couldn't we just showcase two people who were male and female, who were best friends and who had love for each other, took care of each other? You know what I mean? Like I didn't understand why it had to turn romantic.
True. Yeah, see, yeah, that's how I know. Yep.
Oh, you didn't? So you didn't remember that?
See, I don't remember that, and that's why, like, I do agree with, like, it's just like let them be friends. See, but that's how I know I didn't watch the show all the way through. Don't remember that.
Oh, see, there you go.
Don't remember
All right, so let me go ahead and move into the nerd moment of the week so we can go ahead and get this show wrapped up. Basically, my nerd moment for this week is I checked out Amazon Prime show The Boys. My review of it, I give it a B. I enjoyed it. I always enjoy like anti-superhero shows because basically it's like an ensemble show where you have like they're superheroes, but it's like at the same time they're the bad guys basically. And I always felt like like when it comes to superheroes, we always see like where these people get powers and they use it for good, but let's be honest, people are people. Not everybody who gets powers is gonna be a good guy. So I enjoy the concept. I like the concept of getting to see, okay, well, what if these superheroes get these powers and to the public eye they have to pretend like they're these good people doing good things, but in all honesty they're shitty ass people with powers. You know what I mean? Using their powers for their advantage to do fucked up things. And so I enjoy the idea of the show. My biggest complaint with it, the reason I give it a B, is because I feel like when you have ensemble casts that are that big, you have to spend time like fleshing out the characters and their storylines. And I feel like even though they've only had one season, that's why I give it a B, because it's only the first season. So they still have some time to develop. But I feel like they didn't flesh out enough of the storylines to where like when I got to the end of the first season, I was like, so well, why is A-Train so scared of um of the main guy and all? Like I didn't get all the pieces put together because I guess like I said, when you have an ensemble cast that big, there's so many floating pieces that you really have to spend a lot of time fleshing out the characters, and I feel like they didn't do a super great job in that. But all in all, I definitely enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the second season, which is going to premiere on September 4th. So we'll finally get to see Lamplighter. He was talked about a lot in the first season, so we'll finally get to see him introduced. He's played by veteran sci-fi guy either Shane Ashmore or Sean Ashmore, one of the twins. Y'all know exactly who I'm talking about when you see him. He'll be playing Lamplighter. So hopefully, like I said, we'll get more fleshed out, hopefully, in season 2. That's what I'm hoping for. And I'll be able to give like a better rating for the show. But right now, just a B. I would recommend it if you're like me and you just want to see like the other side. You know what I mean? Like, not all people who get powers are going to be superheroes and be like the goody good guys. So nonetheless, really good show. I enjoyed it. And it's very, very diverse. As far as diversity, I feel like they did a good job. They have like a really diverse cast, a lot of Black folks, Asian, French, like all across the board. They have every type of person on there, LGBTQ plus representation. There's all kind of representation within the show, so they did a really good job in that area as well. And that is all I have for the nerd moment of the week. Anything else on your end?
No, ma'am, nothing else for me.
All right, so as usual, we want to thank you guys so much for listening and supporting the show, and we will see you guys next week. Good night, guys.